What is going on, paint entrepreneurs? This is Aiden Smith, host of the Paint Your Path podcast. And we have a very, very special guest today, but I'm also joined by my co host, Mr. Joel Mercado.
What's going on? How's it going, guys?
Going good, man. We got the legend of content, Central New Jersey, the paint connoisseur himself, Walter Maldonado
Oh,
from.
goddamn, you just chopped my whole last name off, but it's all right.
Oh, I messed that up. How do you say it? How do you say it?
Mal-
Maldonado. That's what I said,
You
right?
said you chopped it up, but it's all right.
I,
It's all good.
I
I
think it
still
was
love
just
you, Aiden.
it was just the white in me. I couldn't, roll the tongue. Walter's Custom Painting. It's Walter, your favorite content creator.
Yes.
What's up, bro?
Let's go. Nah, man, thank you, man. I appreciate you guys for getting me on this platform with you guys, man. You guys are definitely legends, man.
Thank you, brother.
You're the legend.
Yeah.
I'm the baby.
Yeah. Dude, we literally have guys that are like, hey, I'm trying to hire a videographer so I can make content like Walter.
Yeah.
Like, you are like the bar, bro, of this space in our industry. So I don't think, maybe but you hold some weight up there, bro.
I appreciate that, man. It's just tell people, man, just be yourself.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
I want to ask real quick, what made Walter just get in the content game? Like, what was it that even sparked it to just get you to be like, you know what, I'm just gonna document and just start doing videos? What was that?
Honestly, a couple years ago, I knew that social media, I feel like it's a way where a lot of people started watching a lot of social media. So I'll be honest with you, I never expected it to be this far of what we've done. And, people come up to us and say to us, like, we appreciate you for the content and all that. I've never expected that. It wasn't meant for that. It was more meant for just for me, for try to gain more customers. And it was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna be myself and explain the jobs that I do. Like, if you look back in the day, like when I used to do my videos, you'd be like, what the hell is this kid doing? It's and I think that's what people are afraid of is not being themselves and just trying to be perfect on camera. And it's just like, look, just be yourself. People respect that more. So I did it more for the business aspect of it, try to just get more leads. Yeah.
How did you get into like painting?
So I worked for my uncle. He had a staining shop. And what it was wood that was being stained through a machine. We would catch it on one side, put it on a rack. After that, I don't know what it was. I got, every time I was around paint and I painted some houses with him, I was like, wow, like this is really cool. Like, it changes the whole outlook of the room. It's like, it felt relaxing. So I was like, I'm going to do it. So he laid me off because they had, they were having they had to let go a lot of people. So I was one of them. So I started, I went on Craigslist when Craigslist was actually big to try to find work. And I just put in there, I'm looking for painting, and I started scrolling. People was looking for painters. I was like, all right, I'm going to hit them up. And mind you, I never really painted a house by myself ever, ever. But I knew this is something I wanted to do. I'm going to try it out. I got my first gig with this guy named Brian, and I did a video about this guy that I still don't know where he is. I don't know where he's at, and this guy just took me under his wing, and I painted my first house with him. Came out great. I was even surprised. He gave me a full-time job at the time, and I was with him for about a year. And then he was like, look, he was like, and I did trim with him. I did tiles. I flooded a bathroom. And he was like, look, don't worry about it. He was like, we're going to figure this out. He fixed the pipe, fixed the flood, told me go back in there and start doing it again. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, this guy must got crazy money because I'm messing stuff up left and right.
Shout out to Brian.
Right. He kept me there, and I was like, and he taught me so much. And one of the main things he always had me doing was painting. And I just stuck with it. I was like, you know what? This is what I love to do. This is what I want to do. Within a year later, he was like, look, I'm closing my business down. He was like, I think you should go on your own. And I was like, Brian, you're going to leave me now? Like, listen, I don't even know nothing about business, like nothing at all. I didn't know how to run a business. I barely even knew how to paint still. So he was like, just go, just do it. So he closed his business down. He gave me some leads, and I started painting. I was okay, and then I started hiring people. But where I messed up at was that that saying never hire families and friends. I was
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah.
We
And I
all done
hired
that.
friends. Yeah. And I hired, friends left and right, people that didn't even know how to paint. I was trying to show them my way, even though I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And I was just losing money. I was losing money. You know what I mean? Like some houses came out good, some houses came out effed up, some houses were okay. I would get callbacks, and it was just like, it was a shit show. Like, excuse my language, but I was just losing so much. And at this time, I was actually on probation. And then I violated probation. I had to go into the county for 3 months, but not, mind you, I was still in the business. I was just like, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. And I got a violation of probation, went in for 3 months, came out. I was like, all right, I'm going to, instead of me just going into the business, I'm going to go work for somebody. So I went to work for one of the biggest painting companies at that time here, in Ocean County. And I was like, I'm going to go there and I'm going to learn what to do, what not to do, how to run the business, how to talk to customers. So for me, it was like more of a sponge being with this guy. I learned a lot. Again, what to do and what not to do. So for like a whole year, I was just grinding it with him. And at nighttime, I would leave work with him at 4 o'clock and I would go and do a side job at nighttime. Anybody that would let me go into their house, I would just go out there and just do it. And I wouldn't get home till like 10, 11 o'clock at night. And it was crazy because people would let me be in their house. And now I'm learning. Whole year going by. And next thing you know, I was just started getting a lot of calls. A lot of calls. I'm like, all right, maybe it's time. I was like, well, I'm going to give myself some more time. I hired 2 people while I was still working for him. And as I was hiring these guys knew what they were doing to a certain point. So then they were great. For me, they were great. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna make this into something. For 6 months, I had these 2 guys until one day I gave my time in. I was like, look, it's time for me to go. I was like, I appreciate the time. I'm giving you my 2 week notice, but I want to go out there and try it out. I'm like, I think it's time for me to really go. And he tried to offer me more money, and I was like, nah. My wife was like, nah, you're crazy. Don't do it. You need to just keep doing what you're doing with your business. I mean, working for him, it's you're always getting a paycheck. Why go out there with your business? Like, you're crazy. Like, you're gonna fail. Everybody was telling me I was gonna fail.
Of course.
I was like, nah, I'm gonna go. So I lasted a whole year and a half, and here I am, 8 years later.
There he
Never
is.
looked
Oh my
back.
gosh.
Yeah,
Way to start off the pod, man. I love this.
Right?
yeah, and
Yeah.
and then as I started, I was posting pictures and videos and all that stuff, but I didn't know too much about it. You know what I mean? I didn't know what I was posting. I didn't know what I was doing. Then I ended up hiring someone. ¿Baja eso un poquito? I hired someone to do my social media, but we fell apart. We separated, whatever. Um, but I kept going with it, and the thing is, like, this guy, he does phenomenal videos, great videos. Like, it actually got me to a lot of followers, great content, and all that stuff. My whole thing is, like, if I would have just gave up then, not keep posting, right, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So, I say that to people because it's like, just because one thing doesn't work out, it doesn't mean it's like the end of the road. Keep doing it. Keep going after it. Keep doing what you listen. Some of my videos are professional videos from people that actually know what they're doing, or they're videos that I do with my phone. So once I started doing that, man, it's been a blessing. People that, for me, what the most satisfaction that I get is for people that email me, or send me messages talking about that, that I'm an inspiration to them because of certain things that I do and what I explain on social media. Like, they never looked at it that way. And like, for me, it's just like, wow, like, I'm really reaching some of these people. For me, it's phenomenal. It's great.
Yeah, man. Wow.
So yeah.
That's legendary. And I think there's a story there of like consistency, right? Of you just kept going, right? At that job, right? Then you were like side job. And then you were like, hey, what's next? You just kept climbing the ladder. You didn't force anything, didn't seem like. It was like you just kind of had a natural progression of demand that you were like, all right, I'm going to take my next thing and I'm going to keep going. And now it got you to where you are today. And, we met at PaintCon, first time ever meeting. I think that was like the first like paint industry event that you went to.
Yeah.
And we connected, and I know a lot has changed since then. Obviously, you already had an established business. What has life been like since that first event? Because, like, for us, bringing people into, we say, like, the community, the industry, it's like, it's one of those things that it can really have an impact just with the circle and the people that you're around, right? Because it's like you've met a bunch of people that super knowledgeable, willing to help, give you advice, whatever it is. And you already brought, the cool thing is you already kind of built your, frameworks and foundation. So it was like they were all seeing you kind of as an equal, which is really cool. And kind of like, how do you see your business now versus then? And what did that journey after that first event look
I mean, I think that first event actually changed a lot in my life mindset. And it's actually the growth, knowing that other people have gotten to where I want to be. Because I feel like I'm still like here where like I want to be around people like you guys, you know what I mean? Like, and just keep growing and progressing. And I know like there's so much better out there as business owners. Joe, I know you talk about mindset all the time, and I know that that is one of the biggest parts in business is your mindset. Like, if you let things get to us, right, we're gonna get so distracted and so discouraged of like what we want to do. We're just gonna be like, this ain't for me, you know. And if we just find solutions of, every day, I still to this day, like, listen, I don't have it down packed. Yes, we are a great business. We are, a decent sized business, but in the same time, it's like every day is a challenge. And they say what, 5%, 5 year within the first 5 years or something like that is a percentage. And then there's another 5 more years within that 10 years, a certain percentage make it, certain percentage don't make it. And I think that has to do with a lot with the mindset. Like, if you want to figure out solutions, don't focus on the problems, because the more that we focus on the problems, the more that we're not really going to get to where we want to get. I think PaintCon has been like great because meeting different people of different states of how they run their business, and hear them talk all the time. Like, wow, like I didn't think about it that way. Like, listen, I knew nothing about CRMs, right? I knew nothing about business coaches that has to do with paint. I knew nothing about any of that stuff. I'll be honest with you. Like, Aiden, like, you went on my stuff, and it was just like, I'm using Gorilla Desk. I told you, Joel. You know what I mean? I use
Yeah.
Gorilla Desk. That's for what you call it, and I'm still on
Pest
it.
control. Yeah,
Yeah.
pest control.
Pest control. Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
still, and I still use it. I mean, I use, the other platform as well, but it's just like, I don't know. It's just a lot of stuff that I've learned from everybody. Is like, all right, I need to do certain things. And one thing about me is like, every time I learn something, like, I hear what people say and I take it in. And sometimes it might take me a little bit longer to implement certain things to my business, because I do it like in steps. Like, I try not to rush too much, because I feel like when we try to, as business owners, when we try to rush so much information, we're going to lose track on the smallest information that can really impact our business. A lot of information is great, but if you're not utilizing it the right way, we're not going to grow.
100%.
You know.
100%. I want to encourage everybody that's listening right now. Like, as you heard Walter's story, like the commonality of what he's saying is, at the end of the day, when you're consistent and you're following through with what you want, you're going to receive it. We don't ever know when is that time we're going to receive it. We just know we will receive it because we're just sticking to it. You can never have the when, right? You just know it will happen. And that's what I'm hearing from you, Walter, with everything that came up for you. You just kept grinding, you just kept focusing, you kept sticking to the plan. And I think a lot of people, when I say this, is we, with Aiden and I, we see so many different companies. They're so focused on multiple things that they're not focused in their company. And then they start to go, well, this isn't really working for us, so let's go do this. Well, that's not working for us, so let's try this, and let's add this and add that. And it sounds like, you were like, hey, listen, I like the painting thing. I'm going to stick to the painting thing. I got social media. I'm going to stick to that. And then over time, which we'll bring into this on this call today, like, you're doing Phoenician plaster, you're doing classes now, but you weren't doing that day one, right? Like, you were like, hey, I'm going to grow this thing. I'm going to focus. And it's what got you naturally with a natural progression, because you pushed through it, you stayed consistent, and now you're able to do other things as well, right? So I kind of want to encourage people who's listening and watching this to understand that we all, every single one of us, every guest, and all of us on this call, we've all started day one with just saying we need to stay consistent.
Yep.
It will all come through. So
100%.
just wanted to share that.
I mean, you have to stay consistent. I mean, a lot, some of us don't know what avenue or what road we want to go to. When I first started, like I told you with Brian, so he taught me how to do trimming, tiles, and all this stuff, and I tried all this stuff. But I felt like the passion for me was painting. And it wasn't easy. I tell you right now, like it wasn't easy. People that know me, they know like I failed so many times. My thing wasn't like an overnight success. Like I failed. Like when I was doing this and I was hiring friends and families, like I was losing money. Like I was like behind on rent. My wife she actually got me my first truck. I didn't know how I was paying the truck. You know what I mean? Like I was like we were struggling like really bad. Like I had, my family don't have money. I didn't come from money. I was like, all right, I need to figure it out. Like my hustling mentality from when I was younger, I was like, I need to make this work because if I want to break that cycle, and become something better, then I need to go with it. I need to 100% just go after my dreams and do it for myself. Like a lot of us will say like I'm doing it for my kids, I'm doing it for my wife. No, man, you got to do it for yourself because the second that we start thinking that we want to do it for somebody else, for us it's just like secondhand. It's like, all right, I'm doing it for them. Okay, if it doesn't work, all right, whatever, I'm gonna try a different way. Like, no, just stay with it.
Yeah.
So
true.
Love
100%. I really think that, not only you setting the example yourself, right, leading the way, and everybody kind of sees that and they're like, all right, this is the standard. This is how I have to kind of get in line to work with this guy. I think that you actually putting in the work now, it's like you pretty much on your own, bootstrapped a multi 7-figure business, right? That's something super impressive on its own. And also, when it comes to now the things you're doing, because you got to such a level, you're able to offer advice at certain levels. I mean, you kind of brought back the value proposition, right? Like now people are realizing that customers actually care about prep, right? Like clients actually care that the house and the painting is done right, and you get to charge for that service. And you get a lot of pushback. I know, Joel, you hear this as well. It's like, well, the customer doesn't want to pay anymore. Oh, we get undercut. And it's like when you show them the value, why it matters, and that you're the best at your craft, a lot of times before you even show up, they're going to want to go with you. So I think that you're making a public statement saying all the stuff I'm doing, going above and beyond, because we've all seen the videos, the prep, the custom walls and finishes. There are people that actually care about that, not just the lowest price. And I think that's one of the best things, like hearing your story and now you're like rewriting the narrative. I think that's like super powerful at a macro level. But you were talking about how people are asking about when can I get on the schedule versus, what's the cheaper price? Talk to us about that and what that looks like now for your company.
I don't ever want to undercut myself. I mean, we're not gonna do less if I give you a discount, because at the end of the day, like my company strives on giving you the best quality possible. But I always have to, I'm not gonna go in if I charge you $5,000 and you're telling me, hey, can you do it for $1,500 less? Obviously, I'm gonna tell you no.
Right.
You know what I mean? Can I take maybe a couple $100? Maybe. I have to look at my numbers and see what I can do. I mean, I always love to work with people, but I also want to make sure that it makes sense for everybody.
100%. And speaking about value, I got a little rumor that there's a thing called Walter's Choice.
Walter's Way. That was
Walter's
Aiden's.
Way. Yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
Did we go live with that?
That was Aiden's thing. So yeah, so actually, we have
Nice.
for certain things, yeah. So Walter's Way is like, so we try to give customers. We go in there. Obviously, my way is like we go insane with the preparation. With the spackle, we put lights on your walls, make sure that we address any imperfections that you might have in your walls. So now we try to give you a way where it's like not as detailed, to where now is Walter's Way. Now it's like you're gonna get what you see in the videos. All right, how he preps his houses and with the spackle, with the lights, that's Walter's Way. That's what we recommend. All right, if you want something less than that, then here's the generic way.
I love that.
Which for us, we're still gonna give you a beautiful job, but it's just not gonna be as crazy. And honestly, most of the people just go with like the Walter's Way. You know what I mean? Because they're
Yeah.
like, no, we want what we see on the videos. So
It's a way to
I
serve
love
more
that.
clients, right? And
right.
it's also psychology. Like, hey, you can get the generic way or you can get Walter's way. And you already know profit's going to be a little bit nicer, but the product that they're getting is going to be, I mean, you've all seen it.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is, like, I think people, I'm from that area, and I know Joel has an idea as well. Like, Jersey, a lot of those houses need to be renovated, like, fully. So if you can
Yeah.
come in and just fix it to the nines and it's going to last the next 10, 20 years anyway, they're actually saving money if you really think about it.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, listen, we walk into houses, multi-million-dollar houses, and I see some of these paint jobs that people do. I honestly, with the preparation, is just like how, like I don't know. Me personally, I wouldn't feel right walking out of a house knowing that, you know. And my guys, like, I don't even have to tell my guys no more. Like, this is what we got. Like, they know what they have to do.
Yeah.
Um, you know, and I think that's, you know, that's why we've grown in 8 years, and it's just like Walter's way it is.
I
There it
love
is.
that, man. So when you guys look at it that way, here's a little hack for that. The brand is actually driving the luxury. It's driving the, hey, I want the top-notch prep anyways. So you're actually curating to your ideal client. So we call it ICP, which is your ideal client profile. Who is that, right? And a lot of painters have no idea what their ICP is. In fact, most businesses don't. So when you guys have that, now when you go, well, do you want Walter's way or the generic way? They're like, well, I've already seen what you do. You've already got them hooked on, hey, I want it this way because that's how he did it. I want it like that. Okay, well, they're not shocked that that's going to come with a price. They're not going to be shocked that, hey, Walter's way is the premium. The generic way is what every other painting company is doing. So I love that,
Right.
man. That's actually like the hack right there of getting the right client specifically to what you're trying to do. I love it.
I'm giving too much game right now.
Hey man, you got to remember the game. Here's the thing, Walter. You know what's funny about sharing the game? This is what I love about our podcast. You can share the game, but you still can't change the person who's doing the game, right?
You can't
And
do
what most
anything.
people, yeah, man, it's dude. They can try as much as they want, but it's still the driver, right? At the end of the day, who's going to
100%.
implement and at the level. So I never fear sharing the game because I know 90% of the people aren't even going to do anything about it.
Yeah,
To be honest.
100%. And I'm listen.
So
I believe that, you know, to the fullest, man, because I know, you know, everybody's different on how they do certain things. Not everyone's gonna have the passion that I have. I might not have the passion that, you know, the next person might have.
yeah,
That's why I tell people all the time, especially around here, like this. There's no competition for anybody. No one should ever consider anybody as competition, because at the end of the day, like, if I can keep my customers happy and still coming back, I'm doing something right. If I mess up, that's my fault. They're gonna go find somebody else. So, you know, at the end of the day, like, I'm gonna treat my customers different than what you are. You're gonna treat your customers different than what I am. You know,
yeah.
so yeah.
Well, and here's
Man,
the cool part too. They resonate with you differently than other painting companies too. So it's like you're curating something specific to you. So
Hmm?
that's a well said thing. Go ahead, Aiden. You were about to say something, brother.
but yeah, I was just gonna say, Walter, you know, I also think that you're changing the narrative also on what it looks like to run a painting business, because a lot of guys right now, you know, they have your mindset because you can do all the things that your guys do in your business. You can do the Venetia plasty yourself, the level of prep, like you're capable, but now you're building out a team. And I do want to talk about the classes as well because it's super cool that you're
Yeah,
doing that. But
yeah.
talk to me about what the team development looks like, because I think that's a big thing that you focus on over the last year that has been, you already talked about it a little bit, but like a game changer, right? You know, people are selling for you now. People are going out landing huge projects all under the Walter Custom Painting brand. Talk to us about that a little bit and share some game with people that want to build their team out.
Just do it. Honestly. I mean, I was one of those people, like, I thought that I thought no one else can do it better than I can, right? And I think that's one of the biggest things in business, right? That we get scared of letting other people delegate certain things in the business. A couple years ago, I would say about almost 2, 3 years ago, you know, I used to run everything by myself, from estimating to going on jobs and all that stuff. And as I started talking to people that were in business, and they was like, Walter, what you need to do is let go of your phone. I'm like, oof, that's hard. I'm like, you
Yeah.
know, I deal with everything, you know, with with the estimating, you know, talking to customers, collecting my checks. Let go of your phone. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try it. You know, I got Sarah. She's been with me for about 2.5 years, and I tell you that it's probably one of the best things that I've done in the business is to
Yes.
let go of my phone, because I found myself at that time when I'm working on the job sites, I found myself forgetting a lot of stuff for me to get back to, because if I'm in the middle of something, I get a phone call, I hang up, something happens, or I get another phone call, I forget about an estimate, I forget about something. So I had her do all that stuff for me. And it's been phenomenal. And then ever since PaintCon, I'll be honest with you, like ever since PaintCon is when we decided to get a project manager.
Yeah.
I had a project manager at that time, but and he was great. Don't get me wrong, he wasn't a painter, but I didn't know what I was doing with him.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So I had someone in a position to do certain things. I just didn't know that exactly what his job should be, if that makes any sense. But then when I went to
Mm-hmm.
PaintCon, I started learning about all these like different positions. Like I know this one kid, 22-year-old kid at PaintCon, he sold 2.2 million for his painting company, and his buddy sitting right next to him, he sold 1.6 million, making over 100 grand just for selling. I'm like, holy crap. Like, what
Mhm.
am I like? What am I doing? Like, I'm over here, killing myself trying to do all these estimates. When if I can have someone that's just as hungry and go out there and just do sales, my business can actually grow. 10, 20, 30% more.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know like having someone sell for you was a thing. And then I hired Matt. When I hired Matt, he started doing all my sales. And I tell you, I think Aiden, I spoke to you about this, like, and I say it to him, and he says it too. I wish he was here because he was like, "Yo, I go to houses, and people are like, you're here because all I do is watch Walter's painting on video." So, and then when I told Aiden that one day, he was like, "Yo," he was like, "That's actually an avenue. That's actually a way where like your job is already 80% sold. That twenty
Yep.
percent is him trying to go in there now and just sell it, be
Mm.
personable with these people." And I told him, I was like, "Yo," I was like, "Look," I said, Aiden and Dave told me this thing like now, like which it makes sense. Like if they telling you that we found you on social media, all right, now you just gotta be personal with them. All right, they already know what they're getting with us, and he's been killing it. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I'll be honest with you. I probably do estimates maybe like if it's like at 5 o'clock here and there, but maybe probably about
Wow.
a month and a half. I haven't done not one estimate. We're booking out to the end of July.
Dude, that is
I got to give you
huge,
your
man.
kudos, brother. That's
Yeah.
You
amazing.
know, um, and
Wow.
then I got Jose. Jose is
Legend.
yeah, he's phenomenal. He does estimating for commercial only. He's in my
Mm.
office all day long just estimating commercial jobs. Like he landed his first commercial job not that long ago for $90,000. You know what I mean? We were supposed to finish the job with 4 people in 30 days. We finished it in 3 weeks.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And
90K
now
in
we
3 weeks.
yeah, and we're about to land another one, and it's just like for me in my business. Here's the thing with my business. My business, my longest guy's been with me for going on 7 years. My shortest guy is probably I just hired 2 more people, so a couple days, but other than that, the other one's a year. But this is a family here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And what I feel like a lot of painting businesses fail is like wintertime, right? Because wintertime, a lot of people are like, we're slow. I gotta let you go. I gotta let you go. They're letting go their top guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, no, like for me, for 18 guys that I had this whole 2 years, they work in wintertime. I don't care what I have to do. If I have to book one bedroom and put 2 or 3 guys in there, as long as I'm covering my paint, covering the labor, they're feeding their families, they getting paid, whatever. These guys make me good money in the summertime. So I gotta make sure these guys are working.
Yeah.
I don't like to lay my guys off. I don't lay nobody off. If you talk to any of my guys, they'll tell you, you ask them, has Walter ever laid you off for a week? Nope. He finds something for us to do. You either in my shop, you're cleaning, you're doing something. So for me, it's just like a family. Like I treat these guys like family. I would never want to see these guys go without. Um, and the other thing that I see that people fail, and I've learned along the way, that I've learned from the guy that I used to work for, that people think just for because we're booked out for, let's just say people are booked out for 30 days. I'm good for 30 days. I don't have to worry about it for 30 days. I don't have to do no videos. They don't have to advertise. They don't have to do any of that. Why? Because they booked out. They happy. But when you're booking out that much, that means you in a hot seat right now. People are talking about you. That's when we have to promote more. That's when we have to put out more videos, because if people are talking about you, you want them to keep talking about you. So that way now you can book out another month. And then when that month is almost off, now you booked out another month. So it's just being consistent with it, and just like people will say, "Oh, you're crazy. If you're so booked out, why are you still posting?" Why? Because I'm thinking about 3 months from now. I'm not thinking about 3 months.
Yes. Let's
You know?
go, dude. Thank you. Thank
You
you.
know?
Because like most guys don't talk about that. And you're absolutely right. The failure of most of those guys is they chill out. They get complacent. They're like, oh, I'm good for 2 months. It's like, yeah, but there's always a winter in life, even
Mhm.
if it's not in its literal season. But man, preach, brother.
It's
Preach.
yeah, I mean it's they I mean and I hear it a lot. You know, that's why when I hear people say like they're slow in the wintertime. Listen, are we booked out 3 months in the wintertime? No. Okay. But at least my guys are still working 6 days a week.
Yep.
Like, you know, I'm telling you, guys ever come down and talk to my guys one on one? Hey, this guy, well, let's no.
That's epic.
You know, like it's you know, right now I'm actually getting one of my crew leads that he's been with me for 6 years. You know, I'm working on him getting his own business and me subbing him work.
Wow.
Like I want people
Nice.
in my team. I want people in my team to make money. Like it's and that's what I want for my team. Like and they know that I'm always gonna give them work.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
know, and so it's for me it's a win-win, because I know they're going to be loyal, but at the end of the day I know they're making money, I'm still making money, and honestly I probably make more money by subbing workout than I am paying people hourly.
100%.
Man. Now I'm hearing
So good.
leadership all throughout, right? And I'm hearing
100%.
someone who is very, very capable of growing something that goes beyond him, right? And that's where you're getting into like the classes as well, because you're very into the nuance of the craft and now creating a community, right? I feel like you're running with that. What has that been like? What is that experience like? I know you had maybe your first one or two classes. Talk to us about how that came together and like kind of that experience.
I just winged it.
Well,
Oh,
you had some people there that were really, you
Yeah, I
know,
mean, yeah, I think we had like 3 people come out, and I don't know. You know what it is? I think that with the Venetian plastic, people were always reaching out to me. They still reach out to me like, when is the next one? When is the next one? Because they want to learn different trades, right? And I tell people all the time, like, do you always want to stick to just painting, or do you want to get into the decorative part of it? Right? Because there's such a bigger I don't even know the word I would say. There's a bigger avenue, I guess, than just painting. There's so
yeah.
much out there. Like wallpaper is coming back, Venetian plaster is coming back, right? So the thing with us is like we get a lot of calls like, "You're a painter, you do Venetian plaster. You're a painter, you do wallpaper. Oh, I need you to come give me an estimate."
mm,
Why? Because here's the thing. Here's the thing with wallpaper, right? If wallpaper people are hanging just wallpaper, they are not prepping your walls to hang your wallpaper. They just want to go there and just put up your wallpaper. Now they
Mm.
got someone like me, I'm prepping your wall and I'm putting up your wallpaper. Right? You got people that do Venetian plaster that they just want to focus on Venetian plaster because they can know they can make a killing off Venetian plaster, just Venetian plaster. But someone like me, I think about outside the box. I can go into your house, paint your house, and give you a wall for Venetian plaster. Now you're getting best of both worlds. So why
yeah.
not add that into what we do? And if painters start thinking like that and really care about their craft and just putting the right people in the right positions, what like I always heard, especially in paint con and all that, I think this just can go to the next level.
Can I add to that real quick? So we actually are doing something similar where we're doing like custom accent walls because our guys had a strength with carpentry. And I was like, all right, cool. I know that's something we can sell. So what I'm finding is the houses that we're doing the carpentry in and the accent walls, they're actually the ones willing to pay the higher ticket price, right? Because it's like if you have money to just spend on like super custom walls, you're going to have a little bit more to invest in a better paint job and care about the experience more and be more high maintenance. And that's what we want to attract. So it actually makes it easier to sell the bigger ticket items and jobs because you're doing something custom and you're going into a higher income
Mhm.
bracket.
Not only that, I mean, think about it. When you have stuff done in your house, right? Do you want to hire 3 or 4 different contractors to come into your house, or you want to hire one contractor
Yep.
and just focus with one person instead of trying to deal with 3 different personalities? Deal with
100%.
one, and you get everything that you need.
Well, and that's what my company did too. We did fascia replacements. We did full on stucco. Like if you wanted us to restucco one full wall, we did it all. So that way you
Nice.
didn't have to contract somebody else. Now, a lot of people will complain about that, by the way, guys. I've heard people be like, "Well, if you get too much of too many of this," but when I hire guys, I look for guys that have
Right.
remodeling backgrounds, carpentry backgrounds, so that way I turn them into painters, and now they can take care of those other things while they're on site. It's more
Right.
profitable, and it's all one-stop shop. So that's one thing I highly agree with as well. And what I'm loving what you're saying too, Walter, is that when we get our licenses, I don't know about you guys, but like our licenses here on the West Coast, it literally says paint wallpaper. Like,
True.
and we're taking tests on this stuff, but yet I meet so many painters that don't know how to hang wallpaper or remove it. And it's like, it's a part of our licensing, right? So it's kind of interesting how we've went away from what was considered old school, but you're right. All these things are coming back. So I love to hear that you're saying that.
Yeah, I mean, people got to take advantage of it. I mean, you know what it is? I think a lot of people are content with where they are. I ain't
Yeah.
content. I'm not content. Like Aiden, I think I told you this a while ago. Like we bought a building and we actually got a spray booth, like a actual spray booth just got delivered today.
Nice.
And my thing with the spray
Nice.
booth is like, I'm going to be teaching people how to spray cabinets,
Mm-hmm.
in that area. So it's just like you can make so much money as long as you care and teaching other people, how to do certain things. And it's just like, come on, guys, it's out there. It's all free
Yeah.
information.
Yeah, you're a
Love it.
serial entrepreneur, I'll tell you that. Craftsman, serial entrepreneur, hustler, one of many things, right? I do want to ask you last few minutes, couple questions, okay? What is your favorite go-to craft, right? You've done almost all of them when it comes to coding. What do you like the best?
Cabinets,
Okay.
cabinets. I love spraying cabinets. Then I would say Venetian plaster, and then the wallpaper. And I think I say it in that order, especially the Venetian plaster and the wallpaper, because I'm just starting to get into it. So I have more of like sentimental feeling towards it now because it's like I want to master this.
Yes.
Because I feel like with the paint, I love painting. Don't get me wrong. For me, I think it's still relaxing. I'll go in there. I painted my daughter's room a couple of weekends ago. Just sit there and just there's some Venetian plaster there as well, and it's relaxing. I love it. But I feel like I haven't mastered it, but I know exactly pretty much how to get it to be next to perfect. But I think with the cabinets, I don't know. I go in my shop, I put the music on, I'm by myself. I don't have to worry about nobody, I don't have to talk to nobody. Just me and my own time. But everything else is, I think I love it so much is because I just want to keep learning from it. I want to learn like what's the next thing that I can do with Venetian plaster. And I'm sure there's other ways to put up wallpaper, which I want to learn how to do that. Because at the end of the day, as entrepreneurs, we can never think like we know it all because we all learn every single day. I don't care how masters you think we are with certain things, but for me, every day is a learning process.
Speaking of learning, can I teach you something live here on the podcast?
Let's go.
All right, there's a software. It's called DripJobs.
Oh God, here we go.
It's a CRM for painting contractors. It's an all-in-one CRM. It does the estimating, the job costing, the bidding, tracking your guys, automations, you name it.
Tell tell
DripJobs
tell
can help you.
tell DripJobs. Come October when we're opening up Wesley Chapel location. We are going to be getting into DripJobs. I know
Beautiful.
I had a call. I had a call with them, but I had to cancel the call because I had something that had came up. But we're gonna be calling them back up.
Well, hey,
Yeah.
get your first 3 months 30% off by using Path 30, our code for the pod. PATH 30, 3 months off 30%. Yeah, 3 months 30% off. DripJobs
But that
CRM.
means right. So I get path 30, right?
Path 30.
That's
So
the
then I
code. Yep.
do then the other code will be path 60 for Joel. So I get 60% off for 3 months. That's a killer. I love it.
Oh man. Well, they've changed it all up. So they're our major sponsor now, and they've changed up our
Yeah.
codes. So now it's Path 30, and
Yeah.
that's to help longevity for you guys get onboarded and taken care of. So we appreciate them.
Yeah, I bust Walter's chops because we talked about the gorilla desk and whatnot, and I've been trying to get him over to DripJobs, but he's using it for his new location. Maybe he'll find that there's value in that, and he'll adopt it for
Yeah, I
all
still
of us.
like
You know,
everything. Like I said, everything is for us is a learning process. Listen, I know they have a great CRM. I know they have a great estimating tool. But it's me. It's not dumb. It's me of trying to figure out other things before I start jumping into other stuff.
Sure.
So we're gonna get there.
beauty. Question for you: Benjamin Moore or Sherwin Williams?
Play the fifth.
Okay.
Nah, listen. I like them both. Honestly, I like
Mm.
them both. Certain paints are better than Sherwin Williams. Sherwin Williams got certain paints that's better than Benjamin Moore. Um, it's a customer preference. I love working with both of them. They've both been phenomenal for us. I respect both of them, Benjamin Moore and Sherwin Williams. Trust me, they've done a lot for us. So we leave that to the customers, but much respect to Sherwin Williams and Benjamin Moore.
Love that.
This guy, he's a politician all of a sudden too. Huh?
No, fuck, no, not me.
Just fine. Hey, Walter, where can people find you if they wanted to reach out?
We have Instagram, Facebook, Walter's Custom Painting. Go on there, follow us, send me a DM. I'm always open to have a conversation with people, man. I just want to see people win, people grow. It's out there. Let's get it.
Beauty.
Love that. I want to say one thing real quick. You remember when we were sitting at that restaurant in Arizona?
Yeah.
That's who I was pointing to. I was like, that's Walter.
Yeah.
Sitting at the table. I was like, I think that's Walter, the guy all over social media. So, Walter, just so you know, we were eating at the same restaurant. I couldn't recognize it because I was sitting far away and I was exhausted from that day. But I was like, I think that's Walter. That's how much impact you
Yep.
have had all over all of us online that I saw it and I was like, I think that's Walter, man.
You
So I
just
was
give
so
me, like,
excited to meet you,
jitters.
man. I just want to let you
Nah,
know, brother, like that's impact, bro. Because like I literally when I sat down at the restaurant, I couldn't see really far away. But I was like, I told Aiden and the boys when we were there at PaintCon, I was like, I think that's Walter, man. That's the guy I see all the time on Facebook and on Instagram. And
Legend.
it's so cool, brother, that like this is how awesome, online can be and how we can be connected and feel connected and learn from each other. Because like you said earlier, right? Keep an open mind. You can learn from everybody. And, I always loved watching the videos and I was like, man, this guy is doing some great things. And it was very inspiring to me as well. So I just want to share that with you, man. You're doing more impact than you even imagined. So
Hell
I just
yeah.
want to share that with you real quick.
I listen. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. But I think meeting you guys for me has been a blessing. I'll be honest with you, man. Learning from everyone that I came across, especially in PaintCon, you guys, man. For me, is worth more than anything because now you guys opened up my eyes to be like, all right, like this is possible. Like you can get here just by learning these steps. So for me, it's a blessing to meet you guys, and everyone else that I'll come across, man. It's for me, it's great. I
Love
appreciate
that.
you guys.
Amen.
Likewise, brother.
Joe, you got any quotes to end us?
Yes, since you guys got me all mindset out right now, I love it. All right, so the business you build is a direct reflection of the picture you hold in your mind. Upgrade the vision and the outcome follows. Coach J.
100%.